On the latest Bat Bits, we wrap up our discussion of Lorenzo Semple Jr.'s BATNOTES memo for prospective Batman 66 writers. These last few pages of the memo cover the show's running characters, including a surprising early take on Aunt Harriet, as well as the now familiar format of the show and the question of showing supered titles on the screen rather than narration.
Now we're up to the...
Okay, so...
Up to the Bat summary.
Observe the way first half-hour episode is reprised in pilot script at opening of second. A series of freeze frames. Of course, initially they are just freeze frames. We don't see any movement, in part two of the pilot. Freeze frames stolen from previous episode with very short, catchy titles supered over to tell what's happened. This will be a standard device in all Bat scripts. So this is still at the supered titles stage. There's no narrator yet.
Right, which never happened. Am I right?
Well, I mean, it was, that stage takes place completely in the development period of the show and not in the actual production. By the time they make the pilot, they've got Dozier narrating.
Right. So it never comes to fruition as like broadcast.
Right.
But it was part of the plan initially.
Yeah, and it would be weird if you think about it with no narration. Because, we talked about it before, but if you're got one ear on the TV and you're not looking, why is it just silent for just music for 30 seconds?
Right. I mean, TV was still largely considered like radio with pictures at that point by broadcasters because they knew that people would be distracted and not always be looking at the set. And there was no way they could videotape it in 1966, 67.
I thought of this listening to the Yacht Rock guys the other day on one of their podcasts talking about how in Scooby-Doo, every time something happens, then somebody has to comment on it. Oh, look, Scooby fell through a trap door.
Yep,
and that's the same idea, I think.
Yep, that's it.
Listen to Bat Bits and see the memo we're discussing by subscribing to our Patreon for at least $2 a month. Up your donation to $4 a month, and you'll also get our monthly discussion of Silver Age Batman comics as Paul, or another in our stable of co-hosts, joins me to examine individual Batman stories from the 1950s and 60s. Slide down your bat poll to patreon.com/deconcomics today.